Baddies. So I'm super excited because today we're going to talk about blood circulation, how to biohack blood circulation for maximum hair growth. And I'm excited because this is actually my favorite topic when it comes to biohack and blood circulation, because the more blood flow, the more nutrient and oxygen delivery, the better everything else is going to work for you. So really quickly, you want to break this down into two parts. There is vasodilation, which is really just kind of widening the blood vessels so that you can get a gush of blood flow, and angiogenesis, which is pretty much creating more blood vessels. The more blood vessels you get, the thicker and denser your hair is because you have more areas for you to have blood flow. So let me just go into my notes so that I can give you all the details on how to biohack blood circulation to the scalp. Now, this is not going to be your typical stuff that you always hear about. So let's go right into it, okay? So if your hair is not growing fast enough, if it's shedding, if it's breaking, if it's thinning, more than likely if it's happening, it's because you're not getting enough blood flow to your scalp. Blood flow could be like, it could be compared to like soil, right? So without, it could be the soil is your scalp, and without enough blood flow, you're not getting enough water, oxygen, and nutrients like I just said, okay? So the beauty of it is by increasing blood flow, you can improve your hair thickness by nearly 25% in just 6 months. Let me say that again. By increasing blood flow, by vasodilation and angiogenesis, you can increase thickness by nearly 25% in just 6 months, okay? And so another study showed that low blood flow is linked to follicle miniaturization, which for those of you who don't know, all it means is your follicles are getting thinner and thinner and thinner. They're getting smaller and smaller. So this is your follicle. Miniaturization is when it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Obviously, the smaller your follicle get, the thinner the hair is that comes out of the follicle, very simply put. So what are signs that you have poor blood circulation? You can feel cold scalp or numbness on your scalp. So if you feel that at any time, there could be a blockage of blood circulation. Your hair is taking a while to grow. Like it's taking forever to glow. It's like to grow. It's just like slow. It's like driving Miss Daisy, right? To your goals. You got thinning on your crown and your edges, shedding excessively, and then now your hair is starting to get dry and flaky and all of the above. More than likely, sis, hun, boo, baddie, love, whatever I call you, just know that the number one thing that you really, really want to start doing is promoting blood flow. And blood flow is just good, hands down, all throughout the body, not just the follicle, but we focusing on the hair right now. Of course, the natural stuff that you're going to hear is exercise more, right? Of course, but that's not what I'm going to tell you to do. Even though, yes, naturally, exercise is just going to be better in general for every aspect of your body. But the good news is you can bioscalp your scalp so that you can get more hair growth. So let's start with increasing blood flow with vasodilators. Vasodilators, like I said, this is where your blood flows, right? Vasodilators, right? The vein, the artery, the vessel, and it's just getting bigger. So now you're expanding the amount of blood that's going through it. And the main ones on the market, obviously FDA approved, is minoxidil. Then you have caffeine, and my favorite is niacinamide. Niacinamide, yes, okay? So minoxidil is going to directly dilate your blood vessels, and it's going to deliver more oxygen to the hair follicles. Oxygen is very important because it's helping you to deliver the nutrients. It's causing oxygenation to the follicle. It is giving your follicle everything that you need. Circulation, air, all of the above, right? Caffeine is going to increase microcirculation, so it's helping your hair stay in the growth phase longer. So really quickly, growth phase is broken down into, anagen is the growth phase, but the hair growth cycle is broken into the anagen, catagen, and telogen. Anagen is the growth phase. That's what you want to activate. That is what's activated when you're like, for those of you who are mommies, mammies, you know what I'm saying, and your hair just grew a whole lot when you were pregnant, that's because the anagen phase was activated and extended. So that is what's going to happen. Caffeine is going to increase that microcirculation and extend your anagen phase, which is the key to hair growth. And niacinamide is going to relax those blood vessels and is going to improve follicle oxygenation by 54%. Let me tell you why adding niacinamide is going to be a game changer in your hair growth journey, whatever we call it, right? Because it's going to relax those blood vessels and improve follicle oxygenation by 54%. That is huge. Okay, what is follicle oxygenation? Well, let's talk about it very briefly. So oxygen is essential for cellular energy production, called ATP. listen, hair growth is an energy intensive process. So low oxygen levels or hypoxia can slow down your follicle activity, weaken your hair strands, and increase shedding. Okay, so you want to have cellular respiration so that it can enhance nutrient delivery to those follicles. Nutrient deliveries, which nutrients do you want to deliver? You want to deliver iron, biotin, amino acids, which are essential for keratin production. The hair is made up of mostly keratin, and that's why it needs more keratin to keep doing what it needs to do. So when you have niacinamide, it's supporting that hair growth cycle. It's basically extending that anagen phase by way of a different route. So you're going to extend the anagen phase with minoxidil and caffeine, but niacinamide is using a different route. So the front door, you're getting into the same place, to the same house through the front door. Niacinamide is coming in through the back door, and y'all ending up at the same spot, because niacinamide, like I said, is going to relax those blood vessels, which is going to support the hair growth cycle, again, by way of extending the anagen phase, increasing that blood circulation to the follicles is going to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, which is caused by free radicals, and oxidative stress can also cause fibrosis to the scalp, to the follicle, which means that the follicle will just die completely. It'll scar up and you can never grow hair again. So just know that this is all important. You want to stimulate stem cell activation, and oxygen is required for that. Low oxygen levels is going to impair the pathways that are important for follicle renewal, for hair follicle renewal. And so how do you improve this oxygenation? Like I said, niacinamide is just that girl. I used to take 800 milligrams of it. Okay, I'm just letting you know. So now minoxidil users seen 17% of increase in their hair density within 16 weeks. And like I said, niacinamide users had increased blood flow to their scalp, and that was 54% of them. So that's almost more than half of the people in this particular study had increased blood flow. Now, we don't need any more clinical proof or whatever. I just want to go into how to biohack vasodilation. So, of course, shameless plug, the Herscripts medicated hair growth serum is going to help you extend your anagen phase, is going to help you increase blood circulation, oxygenation to the follicle. It is going to do the works, honey. Boost that scalp circulation and everything that I just mentioned. The Herscripts medicated hair growth serum can do. So what my recommendation is, so that you can biohack vasodilation, is you want to use the Herscripts medicated hair growth serum based on how your doctor prescribes it. So in order for you to know how your doctor prescribes it, you have to go to herscriptsrx.com, and our doctors, our medical providers, are going to review your medical intake assessment, which you have to take, and then they're going to tell you how you should take it. Then for me, I love microneedling, and we're going to talk about microneedling a little bit more when we go into the other part, which is angiogenesis. But if you use a 0.5 millimeter derma roller or the stamp or the pen, the roller can get tangled up in your hair, like you guys reminded me in those earlier videos. But there's the pen that you just go ahead and microneedle the scalp with. The 0.5 millimeter is enough. Once a week, obviously on a clean and a sterile utensil and a clean scalp. And then you can add the Herscripts medicated serum, and it's going to increase absorption by not 5%, but literally 5 times, 5x, right? So I just want you guys to know microneedling is a thing. It's good. It works because it's going to create micro tears. It's going to start generating more blood flow, because when you have a cut, a bruise, the inflammatory process is blood flow to help protect whatever is going on. It's really dope. Like, it's activating these certain immunomarkers and cytokines and increasing blood flow to kind of heal that area and protect that area. And that's why you want to kind of create inflammation to the scalp so you can get that blood flow. And that's what the microneedling is doing. And it's doing it, you don't need to, like, God forbid, stab your scalp, you know what I'm saying, to get the benefits. So, of course, scalp massages is going to work. I don't talk about scalp massages as much because it's more natural. It's more of a natural thing. Y'all know me. But it is clinically proven to increase your thickness by 24%. So listen, as far as how it works, scalp massages is going to increase your blood vessels. So angiogenesis is going to deliver more oxygen to your follicles, and it's also going to reduce cortisol, stress hormones, which triggers hair shedding, right? So there's a number of good things that's gonna happen. So a 2016 study found that a daily scalp massage increases your hair thickness by 24% over 6 months. So it's time to get bae. And if you ain't got bae, use your own fingers. Or if you want to spend a little coin because you got it like that, go to one of these places that give you those really nice scalp massages so you can see that increase in thickness. And there was also an MRI scan that confirmed that scalp massages boost circulation by 50%. So no, it's not a pseudo thing. It absolutely does work. It is scientifically backed, and I only talk about science when we're talking about biohacking here. So I want you guys to just massage your scalp for 5 to 10 minutes a day. There are electric scalp massagers. I don't promote any of them. Go on Amazon and look for an electric scalp massager, like I said. And obviously, for even better results, you want to add just serum, your hair script serum, onto that scalp right before you start massaging, okay? So get bae to do it for you 5 to 10 minutes a day at night or whatever, or do it yourself. You don't need bae, you got your own hands, okay? Do it yourself. So that's what you want to do. Now, red light therapy or triple LT, it's LLLT, but I know it's just, I get caught up saying it. It is a hair growth, it's not even a hair growth secret, but honestly, like, you see people talk about it because you feel like they're selling you these red light therapy machines. And yes, they are. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, the science does back it up, okay? So it's going to stimulate the mitochondria of the hair follicles. It's gonna increase ATP, which is cellular energy, and it's gonna activate those dormant follicles. That is what it's going to do. So it's essentially triggering angiogenesis, which we're going to talk about more in detail a little bit soon, but it's going to give you that blood vessel formation. There is a 2017 study that shows that triple LT or red light therapy increased hair density by 40% in 16 weeks. Okay, so I just want you guys to know, and it's FDA cleared for androgenetic alopecia or hormonal hair loss. So baddies, please do yourselves a favor and by all means get you one of those devices. I don't sell them, but get a device. Now, my recommendation, I don't really believe in the helmet or the hat unless you're like, you have full scalp exposure, because it has to see the scalp. It has to access the scalp. So I think that the combs are better because you want to get to the scalp, right? If you have a full head of hair and it's covering your scalp, it's not going to get the medication. It's not going to get the treatment that it needs. So the ones that you sit under or the caps is only good for you if your scalp, if you're like not bald, but you're like, you have the sunroof, like you're exposed. But if you're not, get a comb. Get the comb, okay? That's my recommendation. And you want to use that comb, like I said, if you have full exposure to your scalp, use the cap. But if you don't, use the comb 3 to 4 times a week. And you want to follow the manufacturer instructions because they can tell you, but you want to have at least 650 NMs. I don't know, we gonna put NMs, but that's what the measurement is for it to be therapeutic. So now this is the part that I've been waiting for, and I know you guys are gonna be excited to hear, and that's angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is the process of creating new blood vessels. Yes, you can, and it's dope. Why does it matter for hair follicles? Because, okay, your hair follicle, again, is a tiny organ and it needs blood supply to stay alive. So if your scalp is not getting enough oxygen and nutrients, it's just not gonna grow, period. It's just not gonna grow, okay? So angiogenesis comes in. Now, we talked about vasodilation and I threw in some angiogenesis in there, but angiogenesis is a process of forming new blood vessels. So that means more blood vessels. That means more oxygen, more nutrients, more growth factors to the follicles. That's it. So what it means, easy peasy in English, the more blood vessels you have, the more you're feeding your scalp, the thicker, the stronger, the healthier your hair will grow. Point blank in the period, okay? So that is pretty much like, that's angiogenesis. And if you want to go a little bit deeper and talk about the science of it, the study, pretty much angiogenesis is triggered by vascular endothelial growth factor, or VEGF. And that's a protein that stimulates new blood vessels. So, of course, you guys may not like the information, but I'm just sharing it. Minoxidil is the #1 hair regrowth drug, and it works by activating VEGF to boost angiogenesis around the hair follicles. So, again, this is biohacking, this is science. The point is, minoxidil is the #1 way to really boost that angiogenesis, to get that angiogenesis going. And don't worry, I'm gonna tell you how to biohack it so you can supercharge your hair follicles. So like I said, we talked about minoxidil ad nauseum. So y'all go ahead, y'all can go find y'all some minoxidil. Y'all can go get y'all some minoxidil on over the counter. 5% is what you want. That is the efficacious therapeutic dose. If anything lower than that, it's not going to work. Or you can use the Scripts medicated hair growth serum, which is not irritating. It's going to give you everything that you need. It's going to do everything that we just mentioned: vasodilate and angiogenesis, create new blood vessels so that you can get that thicker, denser hair. I'm telling you, it is a game changer, and that's why it's only available by prescription, because you cannot find this stuff over the counter. Okay, it is powerful, it's strong, and a little bit goes a long way. So you're going to use the medicated hair growth serum. You're going to give yourself a scalp massage with the serum in there, and or what you can do is use the microneedling, right? So let's talk about microneedling, because I said it earlier. So it's like I said, it's going to create those micro injuries in the scalp, and it's going to trigger VEGF and new blood vessels. So it's going to increase the absorption of that serum. You want to get it in. So there is a 2013 study that found that microneedling plus minoxidil increased hair regrowth by 400% compared to just using minoxidil alone. I said yes, 400%. So please, baddies, for those of you who are buying my hair growth serum, please by all means go ahead and get you a microneedling stamp or whatever they have up there. 0.5 millimeters is enough. If you are a stickler for a little bit more, like your girl, I go to 1.0, but 0.5 is enough. And you do that once a week with the serum. I'm telling you. So that's how you want to do that. Now, niacinamide again is also good for vasodilation and angiogenesis. And then a new person on the block that I want to bring up is copper peptides. Okay, copper peptides also triggers VEGF, which is what you want to trigger, that protein, and it increases that blood vessel formation. And it also stimulates those follicle stem cells. Those stem cells are very important for improving hair strength and density. So I'm telling you, copper peptides is the newer kid on the block, and there's a 2020 study that found that copper peptides increase the follicle size and VEGF production. So remember, follicle miniaturization is your follicle getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And if you want to increase, so that means your hair is thinner. If you increase follicle size, that means you're growing thicker, denser hair, right? More hair out of that one follicle. So ultimately, baddies, this is what I'm telling you. If you want a quick blueprint, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get the Scripts medicated hair growth serum because it has clinically proven ingredients to do all of the things that we talked about here today. You're going to get a microneedling stamp, roller, whatever, right? 0.5 is all you need. Me, I can go a little, I got a high pain tolerance. I go 1.0, but 0.5 is all you need. You're going to use it once a week along with the serum to stimulate vasodilation and angiogenesis. You're going to invest in one of those red laser lights or triple LT laser light therapies. If you're completely thin and your scalp is exposed, you can use the cap. For those of you who got hair on your head, get the comb, and you're gonna use that 3 to 4 times a week to accelerate that blood vessel formation. And use it basically in the time frame that the manufacturer tells you to take it. Take yourself, now you're gonna increase protein. You wanna increase protein by way of maybe collagen. You wanna increase protein by way of an omega-3. You wanna just eat more protein. This is what you need. So, leafy greens, whatever. Leafy greens is the best way. You can eat beets as well if you're really into beets. That's gonna also do that for you. And of course, you're gonna get bae or yourself to massage that scalp every night for 5 to 10 minutes a day, And if you're using the serum, if it's prescribed for you daily anyway, you wanna massage it in. Don't just apply it and go. Apply it and massage it. Take 5 minutes. You can do it yourself or you can ask bae to do it at night. And that is going to basically stimulate VEGF production and maximize circulation. Baddies, I hope I said enough here today to really help you to know that if you want that thick, fuller, denser hair, you want to increase blood flow by vasodilation and by angiogenesis. And these are the ways to biohack it. Please, 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 please get this done so you can reverse that hair shedding, that thinness, that brittleness, okay? Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Please leave me comments down below to let me know if you learned something new. And of course, you want to cap this all with diet and exercise, of course. Why not, right? Yeah, baddies, that's it. This is my favorite biohack, but more to come. So hope you follow the rest of the series. Love you, baddies. Bye.